My bad. Okay. So, let me try to wait a minute. See who logs on. Y'all had to come on an hour early tonight because I have church and I'm presiding. So, nobody? Anybody? Well, for those who log on a little later, I am Tamika Marable King. Thank you for joining me for Tika Talks. Tonight's topic, I am coming out of recovery. Now, y'all already know that anytime you have like a procedure or an operation, anything, there is a period of recovery. So, shout out to Crystal. Yesterday I was having a conversation, and that is what was said to me is you are in recovery, or you've been in recovery. Okay, so hey somebody, the thing is the recovery period is usually difficult, painful, uncomfortable, but definitely means you're on your way to a cure and in a better position, in a better place, whether that's physically, spiritually, whatever it may be for whoever it is. As for myself, I prayed, like I said last week, I was praying for some things and I was fasting and asking God to help me to trust him more. And in doing so, we sometimes don't always know the details of what we're really praying for. So as I'm praying that prayer, I feel that God has placed me in a position, I've been saying over the last 12 months, it's actually been 14, where I have no other choice but to truly depend and trust on him for everything and anything that I am in need of in any way, so whether that's spiritually or, so being in a position where that is what I'm having to do, it has increased my faith. It has increased my ability to trust. And y'all know that's just not easy for everybody. And for me, it just wasn't easy. And so, like I said, being that I feel this is, that I am coming out of recovery, meaning I'm going to be far better than I was prior to the experiences I've had to have, or the operations or the procedures, which to me are trials and tribulations. That's what that equates to. The difficulties and the adversities that we are having to come up against, or that come up against us in order to improve us, in order to grow us and develop us. And you already know that if anything is healing and you continue to touch it, I saw that post today, Miss Sherry Leach. If anything is healing and you keep touching it, is it not going to take that wound longer to heal? So that's for us. Anything that's going on in our lives that we keep going back to, that we keep sticking our hands in, making a mess of, we can't fully recover because of that. But when you hear the word recover, don't, understand that there may come some pain with that. There may come some suffering with that, just so that you are getting better in your own space and in your own being and in the areas that you need it. Because that's part of our issue, is that we really don't want to do the work in the areas that we need to do the work in, because usually those areas are difficult to deal with. But there is no growth in a comfortable place. There is no growth. There is no development. There is no, there's just no betterment. We're not gaining anything when we stay the same. We're not gaining anything when we stay amongst the same group of people, in the same area. We have to get out and we have to do more. We have to be able to go more places, deal with other people. Development is something that is necessary for every single person, no matter who you are or where you are. It is going to be required of you at some point in your life. And so, some of us will try to avoid the things that we just don't want to do. Some things you're not going to be able to avoid. Like, everybody can relate to pain, because at some point in everybody's life, somebody has suffered some type of heartache, some type of pain, some type of suffering. Everybody everywhere has experienced just that. And the reason for it is to help us and grow us. And it sucks during the time in which you're having to experience. I can't even begin to tell y'all about the many different times that I have had to suffer through things that I thought were super unfair. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to continue on. I'm having these fits internally, only to realize that at the end, and you don't know exactly where the end is, but at the end, when you look back, you realize how great it was that had to be your experience in order for you to be who you are, in order for you to develop the way you have, or to have the knowledge that you have and the wisdom that you have because of the different experiences that you've had. So don't try to run from discomfort. Don't try to run from the trials. Don't try to, maneuver in a way that you can avoid something, because that something is likely going to make you better. But don't keep peeling back the scab or, breaking open the stitches on the wounds as you are recovering, because it's just going to prolong your healing period. And so that period is a painful stage. It is not something, it comes with restrictions. It comes with limits. So anytime we're in that process, I can't lift a certain amount. You may not be able to drive. You may not be able to walk certain distances. Whatever it is, it comes with restrictions. And in the same way, whenever God is cleansing us, when he is developing us, when he is growing us, there are things that are going to be taken out of our everyday activities and out of our diets, spiritually. Those things are going to have to be removed. And when they're removed, they're going to be painful to us, because when we have to change or we have to do something different, it's not always going to be pleasant. But you realize, if you leave it alone, and if you do what you've been instructed to do, if you follow the directions and the orders that have been given, then it heals properly. You're going to heal properly. You're going to come out, and your scars are going to seem minimum compared to the glory and the greatness that is going to be shown in you and for God, so I can't even be mad. Yeah, okay. There are some limits on what's going on in my life. There are some restrictions in this period. That's all good. I'm okay with that. I don't need to be. So like I was saying, I don't need to be, I just need to let it go and keep moving in the right direction. Keep following the directions that God has given me so that I can be where I'm supposed to be. I'm ready for the next level. And I feel that these trials that I have had to endure over the last 14 months are preparing me for my next level. And the next level is going to be greater than where I was. And so, the difficulty in trying to stay the course is that we lose sight of why we began what we're doing anyway. We want a quick fix. We want to be over it and already in the better place without doing the work to get to the better place. But if that was the case, every single person you knew would already be in an excellent state. Period. In every way, in everything in their life would be great. But it's not the case. And because people are unwilling to do the work, then they're unable to share in the glory. So I got to be able to do the work. I got to be able to stay in the place, whether it is painful or not, whether it causes heartache or not, whether I am suffering or not, because I have to trust God enough to know that God, whenever we're done with this season, we head into a new season. And then there may be things that come up in that season, but you are going to be better equipped every single time you go, every single time you elevate, every single time you move. God is going to be adding to you what helps you and grows you, for that next journey. It's yours. It's yours for the having. You got to ask for it. You got to pray for it. You got to fast for it. You have to be certain in where you're going. And when you experience those moments of uncertainty, the only person you can rely on is God. That's the thing that we get mixed up. I want to go to man. I want to call man. I want to ask them, what should I do? Where should I go? Yeah, it's okay to get advice from people. But did you seek God too? Did you ask God to begin with? Because I have found that I don't have to necessarily get on the phone to get with anybody about anything. If I ask and speak to God about it, he's going to reply. He's going to make me aware of what to do. And that might seem like a headache to some because you want to be able to hear and see in the physical. But if you begin to connect with God and grow and read, y'all, I'm telling you, your desire to grow and be close to him is going to be strengthened. And when it's strengthened, it's going to help you. And then it's going to help you in your everyday life and in the choices you make, the decisions that you're faced with, because everything is not always an easy, yes or no. Some things require a lot of thought. That's what I found. That, just for me personally, I pretty much say I got to pray about it. When people say something to me or ask me about something, That's my response. I got to pray about it. I'll let you know. And seriously, I am going to pray about it. And I pray about it because I want God to give me a direct answer and a clear answer on what he desires of me and what he wants me to do, so that I'm just not out here flopping around like a fish out of water and, feeling like I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, because I desire to accomplish every single thing that he has purposed for me to do. Because with that is going to come more than what I ever prayed for. So, I realize that I have to be uncomfortable sometimes. I have to be able to hurt and still keep moving, still keep smiling, still keep celebrating God and honoring him for who he is, because of all the different things that I've already experienced in my life. I know good and well I can keep going. I can get beyond this. I can get beyond the now. The enemy, though, he will run up on you and make you think that this is as bad as this gonna get. Girl, you better run. You better let go. You better walk away. You better not do this. You better not do that. All because he knows you're headed in the right direction. So when a wound is healing, y'all, you can't see beneath that scab. You don't exactly know what's going on, but before you know it, the scab is falling off and everything is looking good. It's healed and it's better. Correct. So that's what's going on. That's what you are having to experience. See, you don't know exactly where you are in your stage of recovery. You don't even know where, the healing, where you are, but wherever you are, it's closer than you think. It's closer than you think, especially if you are somebody who's been putting in the work for the next level. Now, see, I'm not talking to people who are still doing the same things, hanging with the same people, going the same places, only attending church on Sunday. That's not a real, relationship. It's not going to be. It's never going to be enough. It's not sufficient. You cannot do something just once a week and think that it's going to grow you. It likely is not. So if that's the only time you're available to God and you can spend time with God is when you go to your church, and, that's not enough. It's not going to do it. Okay? If we ate like pigs all week and then we chose one day we're going to eat right, how do you really think you're going to be looking? It's going to reflect in your life and in the way you look. So that's it. I'm just telling you. Got to be able to spend time with God. Got to make time for God. Got to be consistent in whatever you're doing. Be consistent so that you can grow and you can develop, and then you can make better choices for yourself. Like I said, you don't know where you are in your state of recovery. You don't know how much healing you have already done. But for myself, I'm praying I'm well on my way and that things are about to be completely done. Scab falling off. I'm rolling out. Something better on the way. Okay? That's it. I absolutely love you guys. God bless you. I want you to do what you do best. That is being you. Can't nobody be you but you. You know that. So for those who are local, y'all meet us over at New Life Outreach Ministries tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna be presiding. Elder Lakevia Underwood is going to be preaching. Yes, shout out to Miss Takia for the invite. Apostle Regina Lucius, y'all come join us. Okay, all right. I love you. Share.